Journey. Okay. So, good morning, class. Now, last time when we began the chapter functions of the
हमें
of
एक बार
state
काले को
government,
लगा हम ये नहीं करते हैं।
please switch off your mic, child. We came across number of terms. We compared the central government along with the working of the state government. We talked about the members of the legislative assembly, that is the MLAs, the work they do, how are the government's uh, structure in the according to the constitution, and then we talked of what is a state. Now, when we were talking of the state, we talked of its organs. Now, every state has three organs: the state legislature, the state executive, and the state judiciary. Now, legislature is the law-making body, executive is the law implementing body, and judiciary is the place where the law's working is checked. If there's any discrepancy, if there is any problem, then it is the duty of the judiciary to keep a check on the working. Now, when we were doing this, we talked about the two forms of the state legislature. That means law-making bodies could be either bicameral or it could be unicameral. Now, when we talked of bicameral, that means any state having two houses is called bicameral legislature. Any state having one house is called unicameral. Now, the states which have bicameral legislature, they have two houses and their names are the upper houses and upper house and the lower house. Now, the upper house is also known as Vidhan Parishad, or the other name in English is the Legislative Council. Then the lower house is called Vidhan Sabha in Hindi, and in English it is called Legislative Assembly. And then we talked of in detail the various Vidhan Sabha or the Legislative Assembly. What is the working, how it works. And we also talked about various states which have bicameral legislature. That means they have two houses, the upper and the lower house. Okay. So few among them are UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Jammu Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh. These are the ones which have bicameral legislature, and the rest have unicameral. That means only the lower house is present, only the Vidhan Sabha is present. So if we sum it up, we'll know that lower house is present in nearly all the states and union territories. What is not present? Maybe in some states, leaving the ones which I mentioned just now, they don't have the upper house, and only a few states have upper house with the bicameral legislature. Now, when we talked in detail about Vidhan Sabha or the Legislative Assembly, that is the lower house. We know it is just like a system we have in the parliament in central government, okay, where we have the Lok Sabha, okay. Now, Lok Sabha is in the center, just as in every state we have Vidhan Sabha, okay. Now, they tell us that the maximum number of members in Vidhan Sabha of any state could be maximum 500 and the minimum could be 60. Now, there are certain states like in UP, the state is very big and is very populous also. So in that case, the members could be more also. The number of seats given for that particular state could be more. That means more MLAs could be appointed from that state. Okay. And some states which are small or some union territories, so like places like Goa, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, these could have even the minimum 60. Now, though the minimum is given 60, but in these places, there are lesser seats given to them, maybe from between ranging between 30 to 40 seats. Now we come on to the eligibility of the voter. Now, every adult who's 18 plus has the right to vote. Then any color, any caste you belong to, you can still vote. Only you should not have a criminal record. Okay? Then you should be the citizen of India. Then you should follow the secret ballot system. It is not that you can go in group and go and cast your vote. No, it has to be secret. And then some seats are strictly reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes so that they could also get a chance to get the work done or get their people nominated. Is this much clear to each one of you? Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yippee. Okay. So now we
Yes,
talk of
ma'am.
period of the Vidhan Sabha. Now, normally a Vidhan Sabha is constituted for 5 years. 5 years is the maximum time any Vidhan Sabha works. After that, elections are held again, and the common people of that particular state go and cast their vote. Now, let us just quickly see. It is, however, believed, it can, however, be dissolved earlier by the president on the recommendation of the governor or chief minister. Now, many a times, if a particular government is not able to do the functions which are given to it properly, then there could be a possibility that before completing the tenure of 5 years, it can still be dissolved. Dissolved means could be eradicated, removed. And that could be done when a governor takes over and he says, he sees the government is not running properly, and he talks to the president. In the center, the head is the president. For the country, the head is the president. Just as in every state, there's a governor. Just as in the center, there's a prime minister. Same in the states, we have chief ministers. Okay. So the governor or the chief minister, they go and tell the president that the particular party is not able to work and it should be dissolved. Okay. It can be extended at the time of emergency for 6 months by the parliament. The extension, however, cannot go beyond 3 years. Now, though the government works for 5 years, after that elections should be held. Now, just now they told that before that 5 year, if the government is not working properly, it can be dissolved. Governor can take permission from the president and can dissolve this government. Supposing in the 5th year there's some emergency, maybe the country is at war with some country. So then don't think that that particular state will still carry on with the elections. No, every other activity is stopped at that time. And even if the 5 years are completed, the government can still work for 6 months more. Okay. After completing the 5 years, if there's an emergency, it can work for 6 years more. And the maximum it can work could be 3 years. Okay. 3 years maximum, it can work more after completing 5 years without the re-election. Otherwise, after every 5 years, there should be re-elections. There are re-elections. Okay? And if the government is working properly, the people appoint them, reappoint them, and use their working as a government of the state. Okay? Then we talk of electing presiding officers. Now, those people who are the workers, the prime workers, those are called the presiding officers. Let us see. The Legislative Assembly or the Vidhan Sabha, like the Lok Sabha, elects a speaker and deputy speaker in the first sitting after the elections for the functioning of the Vidhan Sabha. The speaker of the Vidhan Sabha performs various important functions as given below. Now, first, let me tell you about the speaker. Lok Sabha in the center has one representative called speaker. Now, what is the function of that speaker? He maintains the decorum of that place. Okay, so he maintains the decorum. He looks after. He checks who's supposed to speak, whose turn it is to put forward his or her ideas. Just as it is done in the center, so it is the process of the state also. So in the state legislatures or in the state legislative assembly, it is the speaker, and below him is the deputy speaker. That means if a speaker is not present for that particular meeting, then the meeting is presided over or is started by the deputy speaker. Now, that means all is organized and worked when a speaker or deputy speaker, either of the two are present, so that the two parties, when they sit together for a meeting, they don't start fighting. And who will get how much time to speak is also decided by the speaker. Who is going out of context, who is fighting with the other, this is also checked by the speaker. So these are the various functions which it performs. Okay, let us see the functions. She presides over the meetings of the Legislative Assembly. I told you, he presides over, he initiates the meeting. He or she, whoever the speaker is, presides the meeting, okay? Starts the meeting. Number 2, his work is resolutions or bills can be passed only with his or her permission. As I told you, now when the meeting is being talked of, actually that meeting has the agenda of passing out the bills and acts, putting forward the ideas. This state needs these many parks. Now this is a bill which I'm putting forward, that this particular state needs 5 parks in this area or in this particular city. Now this bill has been put forward. Now it is the duty of the speaker to first initiate that bill, allow that particular speaker, allow that particular MLA, allow that one particular candidate to speak and put forward his ideas about his constituency. Okay, so that is the function of the presiding officer, the one who starts the meeting. The next, third, number 3, he or she allows time for members to speak in the Vidhan Sabha. So as I told you, nobody can speak out of turn, and then nobody can speak endless. All should be given time to speak, and the time distribution has to be controlled. So this is the work of the speaker to do that. Number 4, he or she controls the Vidhan Sabha or the Legislative Assembly. Obviously, he's the initiator. He's the one who's starting the meeting. So it is his prime duty to control the Vidhan Sabha's working. Then number 5, he/she maintains discipline and decorum in Vidhan Sabha. Obviously, if the members start fighting among themselves, it is the duty of the speaker to keep a check on that. It is he who decides that there should be proper decorum. Decorum means discipline. Okay. Number 6, he or she decides whether a bill is a money bill or not. Now, many a times, many bills are passed. Now, which one is a money bill? That means related to the economic aspect. So it is the speaker who decides whether the exchange of money is needed. Supposing there's a bill which says that 5 parks are to be built in a city. Now that is demanding parks in the city. But how much amount would be used to make these parks is called the money bill, is dealing with the money matter. So in that case, that is the money bill. Okay. The next, he or she calls for vote on bills as well as on other motions. Now, any motion which is passed in the parliament or in the legislative assembly, or that is the other name, Vidhan Sabha, any motion, that means any राय आप कुछ भी अपना रखते हैं, that is also allowed by the speaker only, or he stops them. No, it is not your turn to speak. Okay, so any bill, any voting on that bill, that who all support that the fact that there should be 5 parks in that particular city. If you all agree, that much amount should be given to him. If you all agree, please vote. So all the members sitting in the parliament or all the members sitting in the legislative assembly, they cast their vote. So all this voting process within the legislative assembly is also initiated by the speaker. The last, he or she can adjourn the meetings of Vidhan Sabha. Adjourn means stop. If he sees that the people are not listening to him, if he sees that the members are out of control, they are fighting, they are disobeying the working, it is he who says he adjourns the meeting. That means he finishes off, he calls off the meeting. So these are the various functions which are performed by the presiding officer. Now then we talk of Vidhan Parishad. That means the upper house, or the other name is Legislative Council. Now when we talk of Vidhan Parishad, we know that many houses, many states have only unicameral. That means the lower house is present, leaving a few. UP, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Jammu, Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, leaving a few. These are the few who have bicameral. So here, specifically in these states, you definitely have Vidhan Parishad or Legislative Council to work upon. Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we talk of the composition of Vidhan Parishad. That means, what is Vidhan Parishad made up of? Right, we know Vidhan Sabha was made up of the elected members which the common people had elected in each constituency. They came and sat there and discussed. Okay, we know that. Now we talk कि भाई विधानसभा में तो हमें पता है कि जिनको हमने वोट किया, जिनको कॉमन पीपल ने वोट किया अपने अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी की, अपने अपने एरिया से, वो लोग जाते हैं वहां मीटिंग करते हैं। फिर विधान परिषद में कौन मीटिंग करता है? लेट अस सी। The Legislative Council is the upper house in a state legislature. The Constitution has fixed the maximum strength of a legislative council as one-third of the total strength of the Legislative Assembly, subject to a minimum of 40. Now that means Legislative Council is the upper house and one-third of the members, that means one-third of the Legislative Assembly members. If there are 600 members in the Legislative Assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha, 600 ka one-third. Take it out, please. How much it is? Come on. One-third of 600. It is 200. Okay, now let me tell you. If there are 600 people in Vidhan Sabha, then only one-third members are appointed for the Vidhan Parishad. So that means that if one state has 600 people as MLAs and as working in Vidhan Sabha, then in Vidhan Parishad of that state, only 200 members will get a chance. Okay. Supposing there are 60 members in a particular Vidhan Sabha, then one-third of 60 is 30. Sorry, 20. So only 20 members could be there in Vidhan Parishad. Okay. So the Legislative Council is a permanent body as it cannot be dissolved. One-third of its members retire every 2 years and elections are held for vacant seats. The term of office of a member is 6 years. Now, every member in Vidhan Parishad is appointed for 6 years. How many years? 6 years. Okay. And it is not that every 6 years all the members retire. No. Supposing I have joined in January 2020. So 21, 23, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I will leave my office in 20 on January 26. Okay. Supposing my co-worker, he has started his office from December 2020. He will leave early, after me. So in that way, the members are appointed on a different dates and years, and each after completion of 6 years keeps on resigning or keeps on leaving. So all the members which are there in the Vidhan Parishad, they retire every 2 years. That means after every 2 years they retire. Okay, and the other members keep on working. Eligibility of a member. Who could be a member? Let us see. A member of the Legislative Council should be a citizen of India and at least 30 years of age. So anyone can become a member of the Legislative Council if he is a citizen of India and is 30 years of age. Then she has to fulfill all the other qualifications as specified by the Parliament. Now, anyone who wants to become a member has to qualify all the other criteria which are given in the Parliament. A Vidhan Parishad, where it exists, is a permanent house which is not directly elected by people. Its members are elected by various agencies in the states in the following manners. Now, since Vidhan Sabha, that means the lower house, is elected by the people, but the upper house, Vidhan Parishad, has no such process. Common people do not elect for the seat. So, how are the members elected? So, let us see. First one-third of the total membership of the Vidhan Sabha is elected by the Electoral College, consisting of the members of the municipal committee, district boards, and other local self-governments in the state. So that means the Electoral College elects them. That means people from the municipality, people from the district boards, local self-governments, these people appoint the people of the Vidhan Parishad. One-third of its members are taken from there. Okay. Then next 1/3 of the total members are elected by the members of the Vidhan Sabha. That means the lower house appoints 2-3 people of his choice according to the seats and elects them for Vidhan Parishad. Okay, upper house. Then third way of electing members in this Vidhan Parishad is 1/6 of the total membership of the Vidhan Parishad is nominated by the state governor from amongst the prominent persons in the field of literature, art, science, and social service. Now see, 1/6 of the seats, they are appointed by those people, they are appointed and given to those people who are well versed, who are very educated in their field. They are very prominently known among their people in the area and have done something and achieved something. Maybe they could be in literature, could be in art, could be in any social service or any particular science. Okay, that means they are learned people. Then number 4, 1/12 of the total membership of the Vidhan Parishad is elected by the teachers of 3 years standing of the higher secondary schools and colleges of the state. So then 1/12 of the members, that means if there are 12 members, one of them would be a teacher. And that teacher is a teacher, not of a junior side, not of a senior side, but he or she should have a prominent higher secondary school education. She must be or he must be teaching the students of higher secondary school. Okay? Then last, 1/12 of the total members of the Vidhan Parishad are elected by the graduates of 3 years standing in the state. Now, the graduates, those who have done BA or BSc or finished their graduation 3 years course, okay, they could also be the members there. Electing presiding officers, how are the chairman or the speaker elected? The members of the Legislative Council elect the chairman and deputy chairman from amongst themselves. The chairman is the presiding officer of the Legislative Council. In his absence, the deputy chairman conducts the proceedings. They remain in office so long as they enjoy the confidence of the majority and can be removed by a resolution passed by a majority. So now they are telling you that just as in the Vidhan Sabha, it is done by the speaker, in the Vidhan Legislative Council, it is done by the Vidhan Parishad, it is done by the chairman. He is the one who presides over the meeting. The functions are nearly the same. He is the one who looks after the decorum. He is the one who looks after the time sequence, who will get how much time, etc., etc. And then just as we have a speaker and deputy speaker in Vidhan Legislative Council or Vidhan Parishad, we have chairman or deputy chairman. Is this much clear to each one of you?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this much? Okay.